So if you couldn't tell by, the profile picture, the last video I posted, and probably many more videos in the future, I'm a massive Ben 10 fan. I just always love the world. The concept of having like a bunch of different aliens you could turn into just on your wrist with different power sets was always so cool to me. And so today I had the idea, what would my Ben 10 playlist look like? What 10 aliens would be in my Omnitrix if I had one? If you like this video, make sure to go down there, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, check out the Patreon, because knowing me, this is probably out there like a week, 2 weeks beforehand. And let's get into it. With every Ben 10 playlist, there needs to be some rules, some regulations that stop you from being just the most overpowered being in the universe, even though you could easily be. So, for one, no Alien X. Just feels like that's a cop out. He can literally do anything, so that doesn't feel fun to put into a list of 10 aliens that could give you the most potential besides just being God. So, let's not do that. Number two, no duplicates. The Omnitrix doesn't allow duplicates because there's one DNA for one alien, so it doesn't really make sense. And three, I have to base it out of uniqueness. I can't go just 10 powerhouse aliens. I have to have some elemental, some powerhouse, some smart, some fast. I gotta mix it up, have variety. If you want to follow that format in the comments, there it is. Okay, now that the ground rules are set, the first alien I would have in my Omnitrix is Forearms. He's the classic big brute alien that Ben has. I know people like Humongousaur, and I know Ben himself will spam Humongousaur at any chance he gets. But me personally, I just prefer Humongousaur. I prefer Forearms. He's just, I don't know. Having multiple arms is cooler in my opinion. The Sonic Clav, I feel like he's stronger, and I'm not really a fan of Humongousaur, especially when he loses the ability to grow. They lose me. So continuing from the classic series, the second alien I have on my list would be Upgrade. I think the idea of having an alien that can be offensive, but also like technical, I guess you could say, on like combined in one is just really useful to have. So I feel like if you make a list, you have to have someone like Upgrade on it. It just makes so much sense, especially with the world being so much of technology nowadays that you can literally just take over anything and be anything. So I just feel like it works. So to keep the uniqueness going between my playlist so far, my two aliens has just been one strong man and one kind of niche power. And to keep that niche power system going, I think I would like my third alien to be Clockwork. Now, yes, Clockwork is very overpowered and it almost reaches the level of too much for me, but I think he'd be a nice backup to have if I only have 10 aliens. And I'll mainly focus on using my, like the other 9, mostly probably 5 to be honest. But just in case the situation gets too big scale for my other aliens to contain, I feel like Clockwork is a nice fallback to be able to just stop time, reverse time, fast forward, do things like that. So the next alien I have in mind is also in that kind of niche power realm where it's not elemental and it's not like physical strength, but it's sound waves. The next alien I have in mind is Echo Echo. I think he's the best duplication alien Ben has. So being able to split up and do multiple things at different times. Although I'm not sure if they all work under the same mind. Like if they all work with Ben just consciously moving them like puppets. Or if they all have the mind of their own, because that would be really annoying. But either way, just the amount of sound powers you have with Echo Echo is crazy. And I like that he's one of the only 2 aliens, I think, that actually have named attacks. But I think that's fun. And overall, I just think Echo Echo is such a nice, cool, niche alien that is really strong. And especially if you have his ultimate form. However, because I prefer the Omniverse Omnitrix, I'm using the normal form and not the ultimate form. Okay, my next alien breaks away from the kind of niche or smaller idea powers that I've been going on through for most of this video at least. And that's Amphibian. Amphibian is my favorite electrical alien, and I'm so annoyed that Ben does like absolutely nothing with him. Like he has, why did I forget some of his powers? He can travel through electricity, he can read minds, he can go intangible, he can absorb electricity, redirect it. Like there's so many things he can do that, again, some of them your average electrical alien can do, but like the intangibility, the reading minds, and there's probably some other powers I'm forgetting that are just Ben never touches. I don't understand it. Okay, my next 2 literally have nothing in common. They're not like any of the similar things. I literally only paired them up because they don't fit with the rest of the group and I didn't want to keep doing one by ones over and over again. So the next 2 are Gravitack and Accelerate. I think Gravitack is a nice niche alien. I feel like he has a bulky body and gravity powers are just really strong. And Accelerate is the fastest land speedster that Ben has. Obviously not the fastest speedster because Jet Ray exists and Jet Ray can literally go across the galaxy by himself. But based on land and like based on actually being a speedster and not having multiple different traits, Accelerate is the fastest. So yeah. Now this list from the start has always been somewhat about like diversity and making sure I don't have the same type of any alien too much. And so every playlist kind of needs their smart alien, you know, that alien that can really think and get you out of the jam fast as possible. And most people's first thought is gray matter. However, the one I'm using for my list is going to be Brainstorm. Now hear me out, okay? I know gray matter is smarter than Brainstorm. I know the Galvan species are smarter than cerebral crustaceans. However, again, I've said it however a lot. I think in a battle situation, I'm 100% gonna always prefer how Omniverse portrayed Brainstorm than what gray matter does. Gray matter usually he uses size to his advantage, and he uses everything around him to his advantage, and uses like pipes and he pulls them away and they like freeze people, or he uses like buttons and just alien knowledge in general to repair stuff. Where I think Brainstorm has the electric powers to be able to defend himself while also having the brains to be able to come up with a solution in case his electricity doesn't work, which is why I think that's a better combo for my list than gray matter. However, I do understand that gray matter is smarter. Now, the second to last alien, just like most aliens on this list, are pretty like favorited by me. I think he's one of my favorites, if not my favorite alien in this category. But I also think they're pretty underrated. Not as underrated as like Amphibian was, but I think NRG is a great second to last pick and a very underrated heat alien. I think he covers the bases of like heat powers, so you don't have to use Heat Blast or Swamp Fire if you don't want to, trying to be unique. But I also do generally like him. He also has the armor, which I feel like is two separate forms technically, even though they're one form and one's just captured inside the form. I always look at them in two separate forms. So you have durability on one hand, and then you have the ability to fly and not really be touched by people because you're too hot and radioactive. And also you can just use magma, which I think is cool. That sounds like a heat joke. That's not what that was supposed to. Anyways, last alien. So before we get into the last alien at the tier list, make sure you go down there, hit that like button, and comment your favorite Ben 10 alien down below. That'd be very nice to know. But the final alien, you know you got to save the best for last. And this is my personal favorite alien that Ben has ever used in the series. Big Chill. I think having ice powers or water powers rounds this list off very well in my opinion. I think the accidental to electric was not on purpose, but it fits. Having a heat alien go after or before a cold alien, is really nice. And also the intangibility and freezing mixing with the intangibility is very cool. Pun not intended. I don't know why that keeps happening. But I just think Big Chill is all around great. He does lack physical strength, sure. Like you could say that as like a negative to him. But the positives outweigh the negatives so much. Plus his design is very nice. It's kind of like a moth ghost thing that freezes. Except the alternate design. I need y'all to come here. I need you to hear me when I say this. Hear me and hear me clearly. That ultimate design is some actual garbage. I don't care what you think. I don't care how many quote unquote cold lines he has. He looks like a ghostly hot Cheeto mascot. There's not a single thing about him that I will ever like. But yeah, that was my Ben 10 playlist. Let me know your 10 aliens down below in the comments. Like I said, let me know your favorite alien if you don't want to do all 10. And let me know if you like my list. If you think anything works better in my list, then let me know. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in another video.